A small band of men on a perilous search for the man-beast of Tibet. The abominable snowman of the Himalayas. You've heard of him, haven't you? The world's most shocking monster. No one's ever lived who's seen him. Be on your guard. He's coming to this theater. The abominable snowman dares you. We dare you. Dare you to see the abominable snowman of the Himalayas.
What did it look like? Tell me, what did you see, Kusang? Tell me.
I see what men must not see.
They're after me. They know it was me that did it last night. They're after me. They're after all of us. They just killed McNee.
Why say that? It was an accident.
It's me next. They know it was me.
Stay here.
Wait. Ed, I can hear you.
You've got to understand, that isn't Shelley. It isn't anybody.
I can hear his voice.
It's in your own mind. It's just happened to me, too.
Warning, only those with stout nerves and strong hearts should risk seeing the abominable snowman of the Himalayas.
The mountain. White beard and a crooked stare, tramps along with the folks all scared. With a dickle in his eye, he passes them by, the old man of the mountain. For he wears long hair and his feet are bare. They say he's mad as a his cares are none and he fears no one. The old man of the mountain, he talks with the bears when he's lonely, sleeps with the sky for a tent, and he'll eat you up when he's hungry, and it wouldn't cost him a red cent. And he'll live as long as an old oak tree. He'll eat up fools like you and me. Oh, I often sigh and jump and cry at the old man of the mountain.
I'm going up to see that old man of the mountain. What's the matter?
The old man of the mountain.
Thank you.
The old man of the mountain. You got to hold-de-ho.
You gotta hold-de-ho.
You got to hide-de-hide.
You gotta hide-de-hide.
You got to heat-de-heat to get along with me.
Yeah, man, how do?
You got to learn my song.
I got to learn your song.
If you do me wrong,
I'm gonna do you wrong.
you got to kick the gong to get along with me.
What you gonna do now?
Gonna do the best I can. You got to hide-de-hide.
You got to hide-de-hide.
You got to heat-de-heat-de-heat.
You got to heat-de-heat-de-heat.
You got to head-de-head-de-hey to get along with hey.
Hi.
Hey, ho! When your sweetie tells you everything will be okay, just keep it with the bop bop and the good the skilly big hip hip the bop bop and the bip bop. If you feel like shouting, advertise it just this way. Skiddy the scattle and skip it with the hurry up, skiddy bitty well. Skiddy the give it with the bop bop and the skilly bitty hop, skilly bitty hop, skilly bitty lay. Oh, skiddy bitty well.
Hello, Sheriff. It's something terrible's happened.
Another one of them preacher stories, only this one tops them all. It took off with this girl, he thinks.
What do these creatures want? The only thing I can figure out is that they're a dying race. And they want to reproduce more of their own kind.
Catch one of these critters. We can live high on the hog for the rest of our lives.
But all I want to do is get my girl back.
I got guns and lights out in the car.
Stop!
They're practically subhuman. Except that they still look like animals. How horrible.
That's my kid up there!
Good evening, goblins and ghouls, and welcome to the Friday Night Scream Stream. I'm your host, Spakenstein, joined as always by my very good friends, Mr. Evan Sink.
Good evening.
And Mr. Fresh Rogan.
I'm ready to pipe this movie, guys. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Fresh is really excited about tonight's movie. So excited that I can't even allow him to be on right now with his camera because I'm afraid of how excited he is for this movie. He's just
come on, turn my camera on.
This is a family show.
No,
come on.
Yeah, this is technically a family show, as long as that family doesn't mind cursing.
This is stretching the limit of a family show. But
yeah, we're right. We're stretching the boundaries for sure, but we pushing it to the limit. That's what this show is all about. So welcome everybody. I hope everybody's doing good out there tonight. Hope everybody's ready to kick back and relax after what may have been a long week for some. Or maybe you're coming off vacation like me.
May have been a very relaxing
maybe
week
you had
for
a relaxing week. Yeah, maybe you got to kick back and enjoy your week. But guess what? We're going to kick back even more as we get into our next exciting heaping pile of schlock that we've been serving it up all summer. Which is our season 6 Summer of Schlock. This is our penultimate episode of this is
summer's almost over, boys.
Yep, it is. It is for us.
We're having a kickbacker.
It is coming to an end, unfortunately. And so, we want to make sure that we're finishing out the season strong and enjoying some really cheesy schlocky public domain horror. And what better, I don't think anything better fits the bill of schlock than a 70s Bigfoot documentary, which is what we have lined up for you tonight, because we are watching The Legend of Bigfoot from 1976. And this is, you can use the word documentary loosely if you want, but essentially we're watching a documentary tonight. And I believe this is the first documentary of the stream, correct? I don't think we've watched a documentary before.
So, at least on Friday.
Yeah, I think this is our first.
Other than John Newland's trip report, that was probably the closest we've gotten so far.
Yeah. No, tonight will be our first documentary, and of course,
learn something tonight. We're gonna learn about Bigfoot. So they've been looking for this guy for a while now.
Yep. I've searched far and wide, and they found many relatives and cousins of the Bigfoot, but nobody's really been able to get a great picture, video, or body. Whether
it's because Bigfoot is not of this world. He's not of this dimension.
Oh, okay. So this is the conspiracy we're putting out. It's could it be
Bigfoot is not? All right. yeah. We'll do a
trans-dimensional being.
Yeah, I think Bigfoot is a skinwalker, and that's why no one's been able to find him, because he's not just a primate. I think he's, more supernatural than that.
So he's tall and skinny because he's pale. I think if he's a skinwalker. But he's just got a big fur coat on.
Mm-hmm. He's
fancy. So skinwalkers can take the form of anything.
Okay.
See, I'm not super informed on my skinwalker lore, but no, Fresh is recounting a popular theory on the Bigfoot, a modern, something that I feel like if you go turn on History Channel right now, then within the next 10 to 20 minutes they will bring up the connection of Bigfoot and aliens, and it all ties back together.
If you were an alien, why would you choose the form of a mysterious almost human?
Maybe just like
To
freaking
fuck
people
with
out.
people.
Just
The
the
same reason I do
aliens are
anything.
just here to fuck with us.
Yeah. And you know, what better way to,
Yeah, they're trolling.
fuck with somebody than disguising your identity or hiding behind some kind of, I mean, that's what the best trolls do, right? You just, you know.
You take a really old like junkyard spaceship, and you're like, bro, let's go crash it into their planet and let them have it.
That'll make them think.
Yeah, that's so.
Yeah, they'll think we just actually crashed it. What a bunch of dummies.
Yeah, this is. I'm interested to see if tonight's film provides this kind of insight. It goes into this theory at all, because I don't know too much about Bigfoot research and theory, that particular theory of Bigfoot. I don't know how long that's been around. If people have been making that connection between these cryptids and aliens, but I feel like that's more recent. Maybe. I mean, again, I'm not an expert.
Well, maybe if they don't find Bigfoot tonight, maybe they'll find a UFO.
It would be a nice consolation prize for sure. I'd be fine with that. But you know,
Did you say a constellation prize?
Yes, I said constellation prize, Evan.
Because that's I mean that's pretty good.
No,
it's pretty good actually.
No,
you're talking about aliens.
That wouldn't. Yeah, no, I'm not that good. Yeah, I'm not that good. But yeah, so this should be interesting tonight. We're again all the facts I don't have. I'm sure this documentary is gonna have tons of facts, but it's mostly from the perspective of one Bigfoot, not Bigfoot hunter, but
one Bigfoot believer,
Bigfootologist, cryptozoologist,
a Bigfoot apologist.
Definitely an apologist. You'll
cancel Bigfoot.
I mean, in my research for this, I was finding out that people in the Bigfoot community kind of have different, they're different stances on, do you believe that they're innocent creatures, or do you think that they are actually malicious and like mean harm to people? And so but the star of tonight's documentary, Ivan Marks, he's very much he believes that they're really gentle creatures, and he to the point of
he's not literally hunting Bigfoot.
As we said, Fresh was very excited for the movie tonight. That's about this guy's level of excitement when it comes to Bigfoot. And I think you'll be able to tell that in his narration tonight, just from the few minutes of this that I've seen and picking out this movie. The narration of Ivan Marks is what I think sets this documentary apart and makes it schlocky, because otherwise it would just be boring. But you've got this guy who clearly really likes Bigfoot. So
as long as the narrator is better than the one we had last week.
Oh god, yeah, miles better. I don't think he's gonna be well, no, he probably might talk over footage of other people talking. I could see that. That's okay in a documentary. In a film like last week's film, it was not okay.
At least.
Yeah, that was
as long as there's no flamenco guitar.
Oh my god, I was thinking we need to have that on the soundboard. We need to have that because that'd be the perfect sound to spring up on me and just get me in a rage, in a blind rage, because I would hear that sound throughout the week. I would, you hear the piano and then it goes right into the flamenco guitar, and it's just oh man, definitely an earworm for me over the past week. Thanks a lot, Mesa of Lost Women. Yeah, no. Luckily, no. Hopefully no flamenco guitar. Although I do have some interesting facts about the score for tonight. So I've got some interesting stuff here. And again, it's a documentary, so hopefully we'll learn a little something or two. I can tell you one thing we're about to learn. We're about to learn the cocktail that Evan is bringing us this week in a little segment, which this season we're calling
Schlocktail Hour. So this week's drink, I've when I'm looking up these recipes, sometimes you find ones that are not very flexible on how you're, I guess, allowed to make them. Like if you don't make them just so, you've just made something else. You're not really, you haven't made what you're supposed to be, what you're trying to make. But on the other hand, you have recipes that are so flexible that I feel like you can just throw anything in and you can still call it whatever it's supposed to be. So this week I was looking up, I found a recipe for a drink called the Sasquatch, and then I found a different recipe for the Sasquatch, and then I found another different recipe for the Sasquatch. And so I don't think we've quite nailed down on what this drink is actually supposed to be, but I do like that in every one they're all kind of pinned together by, they have like some kind of earthy or like skunky kind of pungent, kind of aroma or flavor to them, which I think works. So my spin on this drink for this week, I'm calling this the Smoky Sasquatch. If you'd like to make this at home, it's 1.5 ounces of whiskey and apple brandy, 3/4 ounce of cinnamon syrup, a dash of bitters, and a dash of liquid smoke. So this is I've never thought to use liquid smoke in any of these drinks before, but we're gonna give this a try.
Told Evan I've never heard of liquid smoke before. I don't know what it is. So yeah, you're gonna.
I was trying to think of how to describe it, but like it's kind of just like it's what it says on the bottle.
It's MSG.
Yeah.
Okay. I should have known.
So it's like that savory flavor, but it's sort of concentrated.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I could see that.
So you can like fake that you've grilled something.
Well, yeah, it's just, I mean, you gotta have that smoky taste that everybody likes, right?
Yeah, that good smoky taste that we get.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. I think it fits the
finishing touches on
the Bigfoot theme, and it's gonna pair well with all this woodsy outdoor like footage that we're about to get. We're basically about to spend an hour and some change in the great outdoors. So I hope that you've brought your boots and that you're properly attired for this excursion, or at least have the right kind of drink. It smells delicious.
Ooh, it smells like smoke.
It's got some nice
apple, though.
Yeah. No, it all smells very good.
Let's give this a try.
All right. Cheers.
It's not bad.
No, it's very mild. I don't know if that's the word. It's not strong.
I can taste everything that's in it.
You can, but it's nothing's
it's not overpowering.
No, that's a very good concentration of everything, and it
kind of tastes like camping almost.
Yeah.
It's got that kind of like outdoorsy taste almost.
It really does. It
tastes kind of appley, kind of cinnamony. It's got, you taste the smoke, but it's not quite as. I was worried that you could probably go overboard on the smoke pretty easily with this. Which kind of tastes like liquid smoke. Kind of tastes like barbecue, I think. So you do get it's almost like kind of a barbecue-y aftertaste.
Yeah, no, it's all very complimentary. Nothing is really too overpowering.
Yeah, it's really not bad. sometimes I kind of just make these just shooting from the hip, not really thinking about them too much, and this one actually kind of turned out.
That's good and woody.
Yeah, it's a good woody cocktail.
Yeah, I mean, it's
not tinny at all.
Not at all. It's instantly transported me outdoors, which I just got back from being in the woods for 4 days, and so just when I thought I was out, you pulled me right back in. But I mean, hey, it's the Bigfoot documentary. This is where we're at. We're in the great outdoors. So this drink has prepared me. So yeah, very job well done, Evan. Very nice.
Yeah, ready to go hunt a Bigfoot.
This is the
what was that, Fresh?
I think you guys made the Toy Story cocktail, guys.
Oh no.
A Toy Story cocktail?
Yeah, because it's woody and it'll give you a buzz. You know what I'm saying?
You need to give yourself some you need to give yourself a drum riff there for that. That was too good.
That was good. Specifically Toy Story 3, Smokey.
Oh, very nice. I forgot about that.
I forgot about the part where they all almost die.
Oh yeah, how could you forget? Everybody was so emotionally wrecked after they saw that for the first time.
My favorite toys almost died.
They almost died. Incinerated, actually. No. Were you gonna say something, Fresh? No, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say I saw this video of this this chick who edited Toy Story 3 so that it rolled the credits right after all the toys died and then showed it to her mom.
Nice. That's the way to do it. Yep. That's good. I bet she was up in arms. They just ended it like this?
I don't believe this.
Yeah, she was like crying.
I'd be pretty upset. I mean, she just wasn't prepared for it, I'm sure. You know, you gotta be prepared for the movie you're going into.
That's how you get through a movie quick, though.
Yeah, that's true.
He just cut off part of it.
I mean, who would know the difference? You could do that with pretty much every movie. And they'd never know. I've been doing that with the show this whole time. If any of these movies have felt incomplete, now you know why. That's the answer. No, yeah, so hopefully tonight's film will be complete and we'll get definitive proof as to whether or not there's a Bigfoot tonight. Certainly this documentary billed itself as like having never before seen footage of the Bigfoot.
Yep.
And
they solved it once and for all.
Yeah, if only. Bigfoot I mean, at the time tonight's movie was made, 1976, I mean, pretty much the nation was in the like middle of kind of a Bigfoot craze. The mid 70s, there were just so I think the very famous footage that everybody's seen of Bigfoot, the Patterson-Gimlin film, I think that came out in 1967. So I mean, basically from then on, you kind of had Bigfoot as a topic of conversation. You get some movies. Yeah, Fresh. I think that's a good way to put it. Like, you start getting movies that are, because in the 40s, what'd you get? Yeah, you got ape core movies. You either got killer apes. Every once in a while, you got an ape man, somebody that was like crossed with an ape. But in the 70s, they lose that and they go into Bigfoot territory. And this movie is just one small part of kind of the Bigfoot craze of the mid 70s, where all these schlocky movies got produced. Some of them are docudramas, some of them are just straight up horror movies. But again, tonight's film is pretty much a documentary. I mean, I would use that word loosely because it's all very much like it's all written and directed and produced, but it's, you know, it's not
So they find him in the end.
let's just say if you're hoping to see footage of Bigfoot, you won't be disappointed.
There we go.
So, but yeah, I mean, other than that, I have not seen this movie. I've just seen bits and pieces and preparing it for the show. So, Legend of Bigfoot, starring Ivan Marks. Yes, I can. Yes, I can do that fresh. I got you. I got you, bro. You know I got you. But yeah, I think this will be a doozy. So I hope you're all prepared. I hope you've all brought your Bigfoot fighting. What weapon
what do you fight a Bigfoot?
What do you
with?
fight a Bigfoot with? What do we fight it? What would you guys take out into the woods if you were going to fight a Bigfoot?
Is beef jerky an option? Don't they like that? You just kind of you do the you throw it and he runs off the cliff. You outsmart Bigfoot.
So the Bigfoot operates on like Looney Tunes rules.
I think around beef jerky specifically.
Yeah, beef jerky specifically. Well then, yeah, I think that's definitely something good to have in your arsenal of weapons. I think that helps. What about you, Fresh? What's your weapon of choice if you're going out to hunt Bigfoot?
Well, since Bigfoot is a skinwalker, you would need a Navajo shaman.
Okay.
A weapon of choice is a person.
That's smart. That's smart.
Yeah, just another guy.
I'm outsourcing.
I like both of those answers: beef jerky and a shaman. I think that's definitely the top two things on the board. If this is Family Feud, I think survey out of 100. I think those are your top two.
Navajo shaman.
Show me beef jerky.
Ding.
I think those are good answers. Yeah, I mean, and again, you know, I think Bigfoot are kind of more native to the Northwest, right? More on the West Coast,
Pacific
right?
Northwest.
Yeah.
Where all the trees still are.
We don't. Yeah, I don't think we really have Bigfoot sightings around our neck of the woods, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I guess we've got other
I've seen them.
cryptids and monsters around, but
Oh, Fresh, you got a Bigfoot story?
Oh, do I have a Bigfoot story for
Well,
you? I got plenty. I see him all the time.
well, let's tease that. We'll tease that. So after the next break, Fresh is gonna tell us his Bigfoot story. So you're gonna want to stick around for that. That's riveting. I can already tell you. I know Fresh's storytelling abilities, and you better strap in. But before we get to that, I think we're gonna get ready for our Bigfoot hunt. Anything before we get into it tonight, boys?
I'm saying hunt on. The hunt is on.
All right. If Fresh has it queued up,
I do.
we're gonna go ahead and get into the Legend of Bigfoot right now. It's G, guys. It's okay. It's G. Family show.
Wait, are we allowed to swear?
Sure. Well, that's a good question. Can't fudge the rating. Got to keep it G tonight, guys.
Yeah, I'm not going
My
up
name
against
is
the
Ivan
NPAA.
Marks. The film you're about to see is authentic. It records
Wow,
the
nice
last 10
Super 8
years,
camera.
which has changed my life. I stumbled on something that I could not believe at first, but soon realized it had significance on me and everyone around me, which could not be ignored or underestimated. The Eskimos call the subject of my story Bushman. The Colville Indians of upstate Washington call him Sasquatch. The Hoopas of Northern
Not
California
Bushman.
call him
Bushman.
Oma. But right now, let's just call him Bigfoot.
Yeah, he works over in accounting.
Bushman.
Bushman? Why have these expense reports come in late? I told you to have them on my desk by 5 p.m. last night.
He's just walking in the back
I was
of the
busy
office
walking. Yeah. Every time you look over at him, he's just walking away.
Kind of disappears.
Really setting the atmosphere here, setting the mood.
I feel
Really
like I'm about to
stretching this
murder.
out. It's like they printed out these photos and then they're just running the camera across them while they lay them on the table.
Pre-Ken Burns, so you know it's really rudimentary effects.
I like how we went from Super 8 to this.
Yeah, didn't it? Well, yeah, didn't that blow your mind? Wasn't that like insane?
Yeah, what a crazy effect it was switching between cameras. Oh yeah, that's definitely Bigfoot right there.
Oh, you see him? He's that little dot. There.
It turns out the Bigfoot was inside us all along.
This is my country.
Oh shit! It's his country.
Damn, guys, we're all just living in it.
I've spent
It's
all my
fucking
life
Bob
in
Ross
areas
intro,
like this.
dude.
As close to the animals as a man can get. I built my home here. Bear Ranch.
Bear Ranch.
Prejudiced, but I think it's just about the prettiest place I've ever seen.
He is prejudiced.
Then there's Peggy.
I don't like
She's a rare woman.
that place. I prefer Buffalo
She's
Ranch.
the only one I know who put up with the animals I used to bring home, like those coyote pups, and raised them just like they were her own.
Pig.
Aww. Those coyote pups are gonna grow so big and strong and kill both of you.
Yeah.
And the cats. Oh my god.
Yeah. We shared more ups and
Whoa.
downs than there are in the
That's an
high seas.
optical effect.
Those were good days. Simple, clear cut.
But it all changed.
See,
It
I'm
all
attracted.
changed when I
Believe
saw
me, I'm the
Bigfoot.
last of a vanishing breed. I know tracks, like the FBI knows fingerprints.
Wow.
I specialized in renegades, killers of livestock, and sometimes people. I didn't kill for sport. I went after the right animal so innocent ones might be spared. I learned trapping from my dad's shoulders back in Illinois.
Trapping in Illinois.
He trapping, dog. You know what I'm saying?
I've been
At that
trapping.
time, I worked for the government, territory, sheriff's office, federal game warden. When
Man,
they
he
had a
moved
renegade,
around a lot, I guess.
They knew who to call.
I don't like any
That was the
documentary
time
that
me and
spends
the
this
dogs
long
got called
trying to
up
tell
all
you
the
that
way
they're
to
credible.
Kodiak, Alaska. There've been reports
First, a
that
little bit
bears
about
have been
me.
killing the cattle. Now
I know
bear,
exactly what I'm talking
and the
about,
Kodiak
okay?
happens to be one of the
Okay,
most
before I even
beautiful
mention
on God's
Bigfoot, you
earth.
gotta know some things about me.
I
It's
swear
a
I'm
lot of
not
grub to
crazy.
feed him. 9 feet tall, up to a ton in weight. No need for him to be killing cattle, though. He's as fine a fisherman as you'll ever see.
Nice. Just a bear having his dinner.
That Bigfoot?
The ranchers were getting $5,000
Gruesome.
bounties on these so-called cow killers.
Remember, this is rated G.
So I moved in to set things straight.
That just means no sex in the 70s. You can have all the violence you want.
Yep.
I met a rancher who said it ain't Kodiak killing my cattle. I finally found someone I could talk to. He said...
We're shaking hands.
Bigfoot.
It's a Bigfoot.
He said it.
Straight-faced as could be. He said Bigfoot's been killing my cattle. Bigfoot? I checked the carcass and saw the cow had died naturally. The bears just fed on its remains. Found out after the grass was waterlogged. Not enough protein. Cattle died of
Not
malnutrition.
enough protein.
Kodiak. Bigfoot. People always want their questions answered in such neatly wrapped little packages. Well, I'd heard about Bigfoot.
Oh,
Some
life doesn't work that
snowmen
way.
Who'd wandered across the Bering Strait
Snowmen?
before the Ice Age. I couldn't believe a grown man would tell me a Bigfoot was killing his cattle.
Snowman.
What a bunch of hogwash.
Hogwash.
There's a lot of resistance to mount in this Bigfoot documentary.
Yeah, man. He's got to show he's a skeptic like everybody else wants too.
Putting distance between me
Look,
and
I'm
those
just like
crazies
you.
in Alaska.
Those
It felt good
crazies.
to be with some sensible folks like Peggy's brother. An Arizona university wanted us to track down a javelina hog for research. It's a small critter, but vicious.
Small but vicious.
I want this guy to narrate my life.
Oh my god. Got him.
Oh man, they're hog tying him.
Brother-in-law, Bigfoot story, Kodiak.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, didn't respond as I'd expected. He said, "Don't be so quick to make judgments. There's something I want you to see."
Uh-oh.
Don't
He
be
took
so
me to what
quick to
Indians called the
judge.
land of petrified wood. There,
The handwritten
That wood is
note.
so scared.
in a rock, was
I
lying
did
a
it.
creature with
Bigfoot.
big hands and big feet, exactly as I had heard Bigfoot described. The
With
drawings
big
were 700 years old. They told how creatures the Indians called stickmen had come in the night and stolen the Indian children.
Aliens.
The
So he can
Indians
say stick man, but he can't say
abandoned
snowman. Got it.
in fear.
Maybe the people who drew that just can't draw hands very well.
First the ranchers, now my brother-in-law. My head was reeling with Bigfoot.
Having an existential crisis over this Bigfoot.
Yeah, the stories are just so many.
I'm gonna go sit on this sand dune and figure it out.
Till I was up tracking a mountain lion, and I found these tracks. Now, they look much like human footprints, but they were 18 inches long, 6.5 across the ball of the foot, 5.5 at the heel. They were the hugest I'd ever seen.
The
Tracks were
hugest.
so deep, they had to have been made by at least a 500-pound animal.
Sheesh.
And the hair, I couldn't identify it. The toe prints were spread around small rocks and dug into the earth, showing whatever made them could cover pretty rugged country. And the stride was enormous, 52 inches in length. Man's only 30. Now, they were fakes, Somebody would have had to drag a pretty big machine over pretty rough country to make them, and they would have left their own tracks. I saw where a creature had stumbled. There was a handprint, but no sign of claws. They were so man-like. I was mystified, so I made plaster casts and sent them with the hair to a lab for analysis.
And the results?
Well, I tell you, I was glad to get home. Our pups were growing, and they didn't give us much time to think about everything that had happened.
Oh, God, you got to get that shit out of here. Them pups are going to get sprayed. They're going to stink. Get him! Get him! Yeehaw! Oh my God!
Drop it. Drop it.
Oh my God!
I was called to chase a renegade bear up north. This time, I wasn't so eager to return to the mountains. Tests had shown the hair samples and tracks couldn't be matched with any known animal. I was uncomfortable.
That must mean it's Bigfoot.
The animals were even acting strange. I soon found out why.
Oh.
I found the bear I was looking for, but not in the condition I expected. Another track, just as I'd seen on the mountain.
Oh.
There.
Hope he's got some hand sanitizer or something.
The hair.
Are we? So.
A 600-pound bear. That
okay, it's like a stuffed bear,
tall.
right?
Unless I just had some really bad rigor mortis.
I was like, did he see a dead bear and go get the camera and
now that's a real dead bear. That's a real dead bear, but the other one, I think, that was
what, the one that was cheesing.
Yeah, with its hand out.
He was at the dentist.
Any information or lead.
Mountain Leisure.
You can't believe.
You don't get on the cover of Mountain Leisure magazine without getting proof of a Bigfoot.
Okay.
Bigfoot Bushman.
Things were different now. I had to figure out what was fact and what was fiction. There are reports of creatures 12 feet tall, 800 pounds, that prowled on 2 feet. Now that's absurd, scientifically impossible. No creature that size or weight could even stand upright. And as for tracks...
Copyright Ivan Marks.
The number of kids I found running around the woods making plywood fakes. Tales of hunters being ripped apart, campers kidnapped and never heard of again. But 4 features, all the reports shared, were the dark hair, the domed head, the large footprints, and the glowing red eyes.
Ooh. Bigfoot has glowing red eyes now.
Well, I'm just saying, man, it's supernatural. It's not some missing link shit.
Nature's my home. How could some missing link be wandering around up here without me knowing it?
Yeah, see?
It was good to get back in the mountains and visit a couple of my pets. I tried not to think about Bigfoot.
Is that a mountain lion?
It was tough to shake.
Who the hell is this guy?
It wasn't too
he's taming coyotes at the moment, so...
vanished in the wood.
This guy is going to domesticate Bigfoot.
Well, I read that he was apparently a former Disney animal trainer. So, if anybody could, maybe it would be Ivan Marks. We haven't missed the break, have we, Fresh? No.
This feels like Blair Witch.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, they're just shaking the camera around the woods.
Like, it feels like, you know, in like the beginning of Blair Witch, where it still feels like a real
documentary.
A real documentary.
Another track. Fresh.
Hasn't devolved into a horror
My legs were moving before I realized what I was doing. I couldn't believe what I'd seen.
movie. Blair Witch would have been a lot less scary with a narrator.
Had to get closer.
And a score. Dun, dun, dun! I'd actually love to see somebody put a score like this on Blair Witch Project.
Please, somebody put this score on Blair Witch.
Nauseating, musky odor made it difficult to breathe. But I had to find out what I'd seen. It was getting dark. Time was growing short.
Does time grow short?
That doesn't make any sense.
Ah! Ah!
Bigfoot. I'd seen Bigfoot.
He saw it.
What the hell was I doing?
What the hell?
I was here alone. Without a rifle. Without anyone
What the
knowing
hell
where
is
to
going
find
on?
me. With a 500-pound, 8-foot-tall, vicious creature. I had to get out of here.
Wait it now.
Get some help.
I gotta get out of here.
I had to show people what I'd seen. The footprints.
Running frantically.
Shaking his Pringles.
Oh, it's
just the cat.
Just the cat.
Oh.
I'd never been so scared in my life. But my friends couldn't laugh now. Wait till they saw the tracks.
Uh-oh, the rain. They were gone.
But the rains came.
Here comes the rain again.
Tracks away.
Hurry, hurry, get your Bigfoot burger, 2 burgers.
Now, people's
Hurry, hurry.
attitudes towards Bigfoot made me mad.
I love it.
I'd seen it.
Get
a Bigfoot burger.
Posers.
I felt I'd been singled out to find it.
I've been chosen by Bigfoot.
I've been singled out.
Where is this? Where are we?
It's like Skyrim.
Where do you begin?
Where do we begin? Where are we?
Jackson Hole,
Where do we
Wyoming.
begin, buddy?
Jackson
We're 20 minutes into the fucking movie.
Hole.
I really thought I was onto something. Over 500 on the side of a mountain. The tracks are funny things. The smallest print can melt, freeze, get snowed over. And before you know it, it's gigantic.
Snowed over.
Here, the supposed Bigfoot was a little old coyote.
Uh...
The redwoods. An endless source of sightings.
Oh, they love the redwoods, man. Just.
If this creature were here, where did it hide? I searched in the caves formed by the roots of the ancient trees.
Caves? In the roots of the trees? Is that real?
He's going down somewhere. That's cool.
Here were perfect shelters. Large, dark, secluded.
Perfect for a big
hideaways.
It's the Bigfoot hole.
Refuge for many forest animals from the elements. protected privacy when giving birth. Hundreds of tree caves, but no tracks, bones, or unusual droppings. No clues at all. I had to be wasting my time. But there was a statue.
This is a big waste of
carved in
time.
redwood. Its image was based on hundreds of sightings collected over the years.
The oh my.
It was
That's what I would say if I
exactly
saw
like
it
the
too.
creature
Oh
I
my.
had seen
Oh my.
myself.
He's turned up.
He's
Are you feeling Bigfoot?
Bigfoot's a little lit.
Yeah. His hand's even like, hey, I'm holding a something pose.
Oregon coast.
Oregon
Reports
Coast.
of Bigfoot feeding during the run of the nightfish.
The run of the nightfish?
The shore was secluded. Food
So we're
was
just
plentiful.
gonna pretend like we know what that is. Got it.
All right, new
Perfect
band
place
named
for the
Bigfoot and the Nightfish. Called it.
So I waited. You don't know what it is to wait till you've been a tracker.
You don't know.
A gull came with the first sign of the run. And right behind it, you've never seen so many fishermen.
You don't know how many
My
fishermen I've seen.
secluded beach turned into Coney
You've
Island.
never seen.
Only way Bigfoot could show up here was
And we're
wearing
only seeing
swimming
like 2 or
trunks.
3 or 4.
This is
One
Coney
bum
Island.
steer after another.
One bum steer.
How was I supposed to know which lead to follow? I was running out of time, and I was running out of money.
Oh, okay. I was like, why is he running out of time?
I
Well,
felt like the
it's
waves
because he's running out of money.
laughing at our backs.
Time is money. It's like, what is the urgency here? What's your
I have
clock?
to find
Hottest
it.
tip yet.
You got a deadline?
Couldn't turn it down. Snowbird warned us of an upcoming storm, but
This
I
feels
was
like
too
a
excited to
noir
ignore it.
mystery thing that's set in the
It was
woods.
rich with wildlife.
He's got to find this
Why
Bigfoot. He's just
not
gotta.
Bigfoot? Plenty
I
of
didn't
food,
know which lead to
plenty of
follow.
cover. This time,
I'm running out of
remote
time.
from man. There it was. My efforts had paid off.
What?
And this time, I was ready for it.
Got my
I
gun.
wasn't ready to find out it was just a bear staying up past its winter bedtime.
I'm so sick of being edged by this guy.
What was happening?
How do you think he feels, okay?
Any Boy Scout knows
Turns out
how
it was just the
people's
cat.
eyes
He just
play
wants-
some
It was
in
just
the
a bear.
woods.
Just wants to have sex with these Bigfoot. He just can't find one.
Grizz out of a charred old tree stump.
He saw those huge footprints and he was like, oh, fuck yeah.
Even the snowbird was laughing. And why shouldn't it? Here I was, a
coming
grown
up.
man running around the woods chasing some fairy tale. I felt like a fool.
A boo. And that is going to take us to our first break. So, what do we think so far, boys?
This guy, he sounds really unsure about his decision to hunt Bigfoot.
I kind of like it.
Kind
He's
of
not just all in.
self-deprecating. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's like he's trying to cover his ass by not not being like,
Yeah.
I fucking love Bigfoot and he's definitely real.
Yeah, he's trying not to seem like he's too about it. At first, he's like, "Oh yeah, I like heard about Bigfoot." It's like,
He's playing
yeah,
it
that's not
cool.
real.
Keeping his Bigfoot card
Mhm.
close to his chest.
Yeah, he doesn't want to scare it off. He's trying to be coy, but I mean, so far, has he seen it once? Is that what?
Yeah, he's seen it. Like that's he can't give it up now because he saw Bigfoot.
Now he's seen it. Now I guess he's
He's forever changed.
So he's running out of money. He's running out of time. but like, why? For what? I'm not quite sure. I can't say.
He's not going to work. He's spending all his time hunting Bigfoot.
It sounds like he has suddenly taken it upon himself to be the guy who is. Nobody else is going to find this Bigfoot but me. So I'm going to spend every last dollar that I have to my name to find this Bigfoot. And so what he's been to Jackson Hole, Wyoming. He's been to wherever the redwoods are at. He's at the Oregon coast, and
nothing
yet. That's right.
Yet.
Yeah, but old man, he's itching for it. He's ready to find it. Yeah. Yes, Watusis. Yes. That is what we're celebrating tonight, and that's what we're going to be celebrating in our break. We're going to be watching the trailer for The Legend of Boggy Creek. So and to basically go into that, the whole reason that we have tonight's movie, The Legend of Bigfoot, was that in 1974, that movie, Legend of Boggy Creek, was released, and it was a huge hit in the drive-in circuit, and it set off the Bigfoot movie craze of the mid-70s. So Legend of Boggy Creek is kind of like this in that it is kind of presents itself as a documentary. It's more of a docudrama. Like, it's very much like reenactments of people's encounters with what there at Boggy Creek. It's that takes place in Arkansas in this town called Falk. So it's the Falk monster, right? It's not Bigfoot, it's something different, right? So the Falk monster is the subject of The Legend of Boggy Creek, and it was an independent film, and again, it made like millions upon millions of dollars, was a huge hit. So you had all these other kind of, you had some straight horror films, but you also had like mockumentary things like Legend of Boggy Creek. And I don't think anybody really ever replicated the success of Legend of Boggy Creek, but it just, a lot of people realized that, I could just take the camera out to the woods and, shake it around. And if I can get somebody in a decent enough costume, we got a Bigfoot movie. And so it just became one of those things, especially for horror filmmakers. It's like, I can do this fast and cheap and easy. And so again, that's, the first trailer that we're going to see is for Legend of Boggy Creek. And then the other two trailers are I'm not going to say they're knockoffs, but it's part of the craze. So the schlocky Bigfoot movie craze of the mid-70s. So the other trailers, there's one for a movie called Shriek of the Mutilated, which is a weird title, but it's more of a gory, it's more of a straight horror film, and it's a gory Bigfoot movie. And the third trailer we're going to see is for one that came out, I think the same year as tonight's film, 76, called Creature from Black Lake. And I think it's also about the Falk monster.
How does Bigfoot work in a horror movie? What does he do? Step on you?
Yeah, see, now that would be fun. I'd like to see a Bigfoot come up and just, but no, usually he is like busting windows and like, yeah, just kind of like hiding in trees, and it's,
Yeah, he's got a hook for a hand, and then they go to the lover's lane.
Right. Just scaring the bejesus out of people.
They get home and they realize they have Bigfoot's hook.
Yeah, exactly. And that's when and before you know it, it's too late. He's marked you. Yeah, no, that Bigfoot. Yeah, so these are interesting, and I mean, again, the trailer that we saw in our pre-roll, the cheesy movies trailer for Bigfoot, that came out before Legend of Boggy Creek, but it didn't really Not really very popular. Yeah, you gotta have your Super 8. I mean, that's, much like Manos the Hands of Fate, you just get it 30 seconds at a time. That's good, right? Like, you can make a movie like that.
Yeah.
It's not hard. Yeah. So I mean, but that was the thing about Boggy Creek, Legend of Boggy Creek. I don't even think that they had. I mean, I think they might have had 16 millimeter. I don't think they had a 35 millimeter camera out there. But I mean, that movie is basically, I mean, it is like considered a landmark movie even to this day. So that's going to be a fun trailer. And then the other two are also kind of ridiculous and fun horror, really more horror movie trailers. Whereas you can see how the Legend of Boggy Creek is kind of documentary like. So we're going to enjoy these trailers. And then when we come back, we're going to get into the exciting middle of Legend of Bigfoot. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Here in this primitive river bottom wilderness in southern Arkansas, along with deer, duck, crane, and beaver, lurks a creature that walks upright. Whether it is a man, a monster, or a myth, no one really knows. What we do know is the people around Fouke, Arkansas say they have seen such a creature nearly 250 times since 1954. And that this creature, whatever it is, emits one of the most terrifying sounds ever recorded. The Legend of Boggy Creek, rated G.
The sight of it will live with you or die with you, but you will never forget the shriek of the mutilated. The abominable snowman, the Yeti, or is it? A scientific expedition that turns into a nightmare for all but a few, with the surprise ending of the year.
Sometimes it almost sounds like something human.
Find anything out there?
Well, Dr. Prell thinks we might.
Oh, Prell's got a thing about snowmen. The trouble is that people believe that garbage of his can get themselves in trouble.
It's the damnedest thing, Ernst. If it isn't a Yeti, I can't imagine what it could be.
I could see it as it was chewing the flesh of Tom's leg.
Honey!
Stop treating me like a child!
Will you stop acting like one? Dr. Prowl brought you on this mission for a reason.
This is not for the weak. This is truly the shriek of the mutilated. Rated R.
You really believe there's a creature?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I do. Black Lake is coming to a theater near you. A Jim McCullough production, rated PG.
Creepy. And we are back. So, yeah, Legend of Boggy Creek, Shriek of the Mutilated, and Creature from Black Lake. And the only one of those I've seen is Legend of Boggy Creek. And it's, I mean, some people will say that it's terrifying. I wasn't necessarily terrified when I watched it, but it's really good on atmosphere. And, you know, again, there just weren't really movies like that at the time. It does kind of play like a documentary, and it does play up the element of this is all based on true stories. This is all based on real accounts. So it was like funny that we were talking about Blair Witch earlier, because that's the thing. Legend of Boggy Creek, like, is considered, like, one of the directors of the Blair Witch said, yeah, this was an influence on the Blair Witch Project. Like, it's very, there's something about these Bigfoot mock documentaries, docudramas, whatever you want to call them, that it really just became kind of a trope. Like, it became kind of a thing. And I mean, again, at the next break, we'll see even more trailers. For at least for one that, you know, was another documentary, or at least presented in documentary style, but with reenactments and other things. But that was really could be traced back to Legend of Boggy Creek. So I mean, it's a landmark film, even if it doesn't necessarily hold up these days. But I mean, if you like tonight's film, I'd say go check out Legend of Boggy Creek.
Yeah, I mean, what could be scarier than being in Arkansas?
It's true. It doesn't get much worse than that, right? It's about as frightening a nightmare as you could imagine.
Get me out of here.
Arkansas. Ah! Yeah, that's truly everybody's worst nightmare. No. So it's just interesting that this has kind of got some creepy vibes to it so far tonight. There's been some, you know, the music is helping, I think, even though it's a little over the top at some points too.
Yeah, it does add kind of like a kind of desolate creepiness to it.
Yeah, it's they're trying to give it some vibes, even though most of it is Ivan Marks talking about he is destined to find that Bigfoot.
Him like stream of consciousing his descent into the Bigfoot world.
Yeah, it's funny because we know
where this is going.
Yeah, you know where it's going, but it's hard to like you don't realize if you're going down the rabbit hole with it, because before you know it's like, oh wait, and now we're just hunting the Bigfoot. Now we're the okay, like I'm not quite sure how we got here.
Are we on the slippery slope yet?
Yeah, I think so.
It seems like he just wanted to make a documentary about himself, so he like shoehorned the Bigfoot thing in there.
Yeah, this is more
because 90% of this is just like, yeah, I'm fishing now. Yeah, now I'm tracking the deer.
This movie's
look at me.
Yeah. It is mostly about Ivan Marks. Well, guys, this is his country.
Isn't that kind of the thing, though, with like any kind of like Bigfoot hunting thing or like a ghost hunting thing? Like you got to fill the time because you know you're never gonna have the actual thing on camera.
Yeah,
I know.
You maybe you'll get 5 good minutes, and you got to pad the rest out with a little bit of bio.
Yeah, everybody goes out thinking they're. Oh, I'm not gonna have to fill the time because I'm gonna find Bigfoot.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be the one.
I've got Bigfoot, full 90-minute Bigfoot interview. I'm the only one that was able to get him to sit down for a 90-minute exclusive interview.
Well, there was one ghost hunter show where they found a ghost for real.
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
It was Bobby Bottle Service and Peter Paparazzo went in, and they were able to detect the presence of a ghost.
Have
you guys seen that one?
No, I haven't.
That's a good one.
Yeah, gonna have to look into that. Gonna have to see if I can take your word for it, Fresh. Yeah, I mean, If only we could get some kind of confirmation of the supernatural or the unexplainable, but
Yeah, when is Congress? When are we gonna have a congressional
Bigfoot.
hearing about Bigfoot?
any week now that they've gotten aliens out of the way.
Yeah, they're holding that one. They're hanging on to that. That's a last resort.
Oh, hopefully they don't group them together with Mothman. Hopefully they all get their own separate hearing. You know, it would be a
Do
crime.
not stop talking about global warming. Okay, what if we just admit that UFOs are real? Would that satisfy you?
Every summer, we're just gonna get some new sensational thing where they're trying to distract us about global warming.
I'm here for it. Why not?
Like, crazy. Did you guys know the chupacabra is real? Can you believe it?
Had chupacabra hearings up on Capitol Hill today. Somebody brought in a chupacabra corpse.
Yeah. This one goes deep. We've got Taco Bell chupacabra chalupas.
Yeah, that's sounds delicious, doesn't it?
Taco Bell serving chupacabra meat.
Oh yeah, that's the that's the new rumor to start. Yep.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
Mm-hmm.
You're sorry, no, I heard it from a reliable source.
Reliable and confidential. He's got somebody on the inside over at TB.
I got somebody in the bell.
In the bell.
Get him on the bell. I want to talk to him right now.
Big
Get him on the
Ben.
bell.
Oh my god. Amazing. Anything before we get into the exciting middle of Legend of Bigfoot, boys?
I want him to see Bigfoot again just so that he can get a win.
Mm-hmm.
I always feel so bad watching people hunt for Bigfoot. Like, I want them to find it because I just know that they're not.
Yeah, I feel that is a little. We do kind of know how this is going to end already, don't we? You know, sad.
There's a new conspiracy I'm starting, guys. If you guys want to help me get it off the ground.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Bigfoot killed Pee Wee Herman. That's what we're going with.
Oh, snap.
Okay, I could see that. Yeah.
We know that. So Bigfoot can, he can teleport or something. He's like a trans-dimensional thing. We said that earlier, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, we've established that already. So maybe he just slipped in through like a crack in the wall. You're never really safe from Bigfoot.
Yeah, that's true.
You just slip in like a cloud of smoke.
Oh, so he's
yeah. And then he materializes on the other side of the door.
He's Dracula. He's Dracula rules. Vampire rules, basically. Okay.
Bigfoot is new enough that we could just create things that he can do.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
It's not been solidified yet.
Right. It's just like the drink. No one's really nailed down what Sasquatch is yet.
Nobody's
what his
figured it
powers are.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's got their own interpretation. That's how it should be. All right. Well, I think Fresh, if you have it queued up,
I do.
And we're gonna go ahead and get into the exciting middle of the Legend of Bigfoot right now.
Well, I was out of patience, and I was out of money.
Really playing up the money. He's really bringing that up a lot.
This movie's bankrupting me.
In its natural habitat.
He's gonna have his Kickstarter link at the end.
Piece of cake. Always got.
I think this movie's gonna end when he gets mauled by any of these like super dangerous animals he's around.
Then I saw it. A deformed version of the track I'd seen so often.
Oh snap! Deformed? Deformed Bigfoot.
Ah!
Oh shit!
Finally, face to face with Bigfoot. Here was the domed head. Just as
the cartoon tiptoeing sound as he runs away.
Fur protected from extremes of weather and allow it to pass unnoticed in the night.
Yeah, dark fur to protect from extreme weather, and then he chooses to live in a moderate climate.
But scientists challenged my film.
Scientists?
All these smart scientists thinking they know everything with all their science jazz.
Some revealed rugged terrain as the cause
Yep,
of the
that's
skin
science jazz. You know, it's
disease, as the cause of the
you either
lip.
got it or you don't.
But my documented evidence wasn't good enough for the experts.
Like you can see the heel of the
person.
Yeah.
Is this the evidence?
How could such a creature survive?
Wait, is this really?
Show us
Wait,
its
is this
remains.
actually what he's trying
What
to
does
say
it
is
eat?
real?
I think so.
Because otherwise,
nothing else in the documentary has been real.
Yeah, because otherwise he's making a dramatization of his own Bigfoot tape.
No, I didn't care for these people.
I didn't care for these people. Ding!
So in the second half of this movie, he's gonna dress up like Bigfoot and
start murdering
scientists.
Hell yeah.
Finding some answers.
That's the Bigfoot movie I want to
Creature's
see.
Tracks disappeared at the edge of a beaver swamp.
Beaver Swamp.
You're down in Beaver Swamp.
Only sign of animal life was the geese migrating north for the summer.
Geese in slow motion, that looks
I wanted the
supernatural.
satisfaction of bringing back unchallengeable proof. Still, where to begin?
Where?
I found several other creatures had passed through the area, all heading north. Could Bigfoot be a migratory animal? I plotted all
He needs
the
some red
reliable-
string and.
We're going to the Shire.
It's yeah, the music really switched up.
There actually seemed to be a migratory pattern extended over thousands of miles. If this were
Yeah, there's no
true,
way it's just
I'd
two of
have
the same
some
thing.
means
He's
of
migrating thousands of miles.
If anything, this
And a
lends
good
credence
chance
to the
to find some
shape-shifting
answers
theory and the idea they can be anywhere when they want. He's saying they're just
Bigfoot
everywhere.
Always stayed in
I think that's
very
what they are,
rocky
unironically.
mountains and isolated terrain. The greatest number of sightings, and the only ones of the Bigfoot young, were in summer, above the Arctic Circle. Could that be where Bigfoot migrated to breed? If I move rapidly, I might find a clue before season's end.
I can make Bigfoot breeding season. Yes.
It's gonna
We have
happen.
to go.
That's what this has all been about. I have to
whole
get there in time. Okay, so this is like a like 90s like teen sex comedy. Except instead of a teen, it's a 50-year-old cryptozoologist who's trying to get to Bigfoot mating season before it ends.
Plan to document every step we
He
took.
has a Bigfoot fetish.
I love it.
Lava,
Big time.
Modoc, California. If Bigfoot were a migratory animal, my theory had to hold up all along the way.
He's just staring at nothing.
Centuries old, preserved in the lava. My theory was working. But I wondered how Bigfoot survived the violent eruptions that brought the lava rock.
The lava.
He had his binoculars out and he was just staring at the side of a hill.
As usual, nature provided me clues. I saw these two little ground squirrels so much in love they took no notice of me or the dangers around them.
Uh-oh.
They wanted to fuck me so bad, or they wanted to fuck each other so bad. They didn't realize how badly I wanted to fuck Bigfoot.
It's fill-in time. Check out this footage of these squirrels, man. This is crazy.
Yeah, slow it down. Really got to stretch this out.
You got any music for squirrel stock footage? What do you got? Oh, I got the perfect little ditty.
Sir, this is the Renaissance Festival? Yeah, come on, just play something. I got my microphone right here.
Now this distorted like sound in the background. Ew.
What on earth? What is happening?
They're running from the car.
Oh. Oh, what?
What?
Dang, this is brutal. I thought this was rated G. Oh.
Look at his family.
This is awful. Oh.
What the hell?
Oh my god.
I was not expecting this from this.
This is
Bigfoot
horrible.
movie.
This is so sad.
It's like Bambi, but real life.
And then cut to deer looking and being like, oh yeah, we've been there, done that. Oh.
And then cut away before he starts eating his brother. Yeah, let's cut away.
Yikes.
Yeah.
No music, just linger on this.
Why is this in here, dude?
Most
of this has nothing to do with Bigfoot.
Oh, it's terrible. It has absolutely nothing to do with Bigfoot.
Is this Bigfoot?
Most of this movie doesn't have anything to do with Bigfoot.
Oh my god, why are
It's
we
like, hey,
spending
look at
so
these
much
geese.
time
Hey,
on
look at
this?
these squirrels. I love the really sad ones that have just been in the same place the whole time.
God, they're really drawing this out, huh? Ah, brutal.
The male's natural instincts drove him to cover.
Oh.
These same instincts started up in the wounded squirrel.
Oh, it was wounded? Oh no! This is even worse.
Yeah, jeez, I thought it was dead.
Yeah, it's probably worse.
Because the bird's gonna get it.
Reminding me of her basic law. Survival.
Oh.
I don't think survival is a law, but okay.
The law of survival.
That's not a thing, right? The law of survival.
This same
Hey, cut away
will
before
to
it swoops down and
survive
fucking
must have
kills it.
somehow kept Bigfoot going throughout all these years.
Oh my god.
Where did the
got away.
creature go if it were injured?
What a fucking go all the way around the world to make a point.
Yeah. Segway.
The Hat Creek
Fucking 20 minutes of that to be like, this is what Bigfoot probably does.
Yeah.
Now
When
I was
Bigfoot gets
hooked.
run over by a
Every
car,
step
he just
along
crawls
the way
into a
brought
hole.
me new clues.
Oh, he's
Too
real
late
hot
in the
now.
season to find the creature here
We'll
now.
smoke him out.
But I'd soon catch up with him.
Follow me in this here cave. Nope, Oppenheimer.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna nuke Bigfoot.
We have to get up in a spaceship and drop a nuke from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
Canada.
Oh, we're gonna go see the old Sam Squanch, eh?
Oh, I was wrong. So we are in Canada.
Peg and I found the people up north.
Peg and
They
I.
encouraged me. Took my search seriously.
This is Hank Hill.
Like the lumberjacks, mountain men, like myself. The first into the midst of the wilderness, which meant first with stories of Bigfoot. Most of their sightings came at the time of year I'd anticipated. They were sure when Bigfoot passed because strange happenings followed in a nearby valley. Herds of goats come and perform a ritual suicide.
So,
what the fuck?
Sure enough, the goats were there, looking as if they were grazing normally, but actually eating pounds of dirt. With one gulp of water, the earth turns to cement, and they die, lying in the shadow of Bigfoot, etched in rock 26 feet high, and the wolf, his only known traveling companion. What went on in this valley Bigfoot passed through went against all the natural laws of survival. And the rock formations, too massive to have been shaped by man, presented another, totally unexplainable, natural phenomena.
So what is it? What is he implying? That Bigfoot made these?
Bigfoot made these formations.
Scientific data known to man.
There's no other explanation.
Guys, he's not a scientist, okay?
Yeah.
This is just a guy.
Very clear. Very clear.
I felt close to the adventurers who'd left their calling cards at Watson Lake as they crossed into the Yukon.
He's really implying that
And even closer
Bigfoot
to
is
those who
one
made a similar journey at the turn
being
of the
that
century.
just walks up through Canada every
Set
year.
out after something they didn't know where to find, but knew was out there someplace. With so many pouring into the Yukon during the gold rush, it's no surprise there'd be such a rich source of stories about Bigfoot.
Oh, here we go. Now we're Ken
The
Burns
first
in
time
it.
in my life, I understood what made people like that tick. It's more than gold. I guess we all need a frontier to explore. Don't necessarily have to go off into it. Just makes you feel kinda good knowing it's there. Thousands of these people came from everywhere.
You can see Bigfoot in the background. Right there.
Oh, that's it.
Cities sprung up where no man had ever even walked. If Bigfoot came here to keep clear of man, its seclusion didn't last for long. Such a rich source of information had to bring new leads. Sure enough, an old miner's story told how the glaciers up there were the burial grounds of the Bigfoot. That would explain why there were no remains.
He's not just trying to send you up to the damn.
Carried their dead over thousands of miles, just to deposit them in crevices that open up in the spring and fall. Can you imagine?
Glaciers full of dead Bigfoot.
There's Bigfoot in them there glaciers.
Global warming's gonna release the dead Bigfoot.
I went there searching for some remains. I did.
Yeah, I'm starting to think the
tracks,
Canadians
so I
just
had to be close.
didn't like this guy.
I found bones that told.
They're like,
many
yeah,
different
he's way up
stories,
on top of that glacier.
but none of Bigfoot.
I found bones.
The constant movement of the glaciers could either crush the remains or wash them to the sea. Burial grounds of the Bigfoot.
They lied to me, those bastards.
Were the source of these stories. Their friends called them crazy. And some of them might have been. But you wouldn't believe the extremes they went to. For their fortune.
You wouldn't believe the extremes I go to digging with this hat on. I just need a rocking chair, I feel like. Like, that's what I'm missing right now. And a toothpick? Yep.
I can hear the cicadas.
I guess it wasn't so tough to believe Bigfoot could have gone to similar extremes. For a far more instinctive, basic drive. as
There he
burying
is.
his dead. So many questions. Well, I sure understood what drove those miners as they sailed up the river in pursuit of gold. For I'd soon ride the same river in pursuit of Bigfoot.
In pursuit of something much more valuable.
The miners were gone now. But I knew Bigfoot had to still be around. The frequency of current sightings meant he'd somehow survive the diseases the white man brought into the wilds. The tuberculosis, measles.
Bigfoot's immune to all that.
Out whole tribes.
I mean, must be, right?
Indians
Right, yeah.
and Eskimos.
Is that why we can't find Bigfoot anymore? Got wiped out by smallpox blankets.
Yeah, he's long gone now.
He'd even survived the violence reaching out from the boomtowns.
Oh my god.
Oh, these violent boom towns.
Could you imagine going to
Now
a
I
ghost town like
understood
that?
Why Bigfoot steered clear of man. He had to.
Wait, you think there's
In
people
order
in
to
here? You think this is a
survive.
ghost town?
Oh, it's a ghost town.
However vicious the creature might be, I gained a
Those
lot
still
of
exist in
respect
Colorado.
for the elusive Bigfoot.
Really?
And its
Yeah, it's
ability
a
to
good couple of
endure.
them.
But if we were to find
It's wild.
we'd have to get to the furthest outpost of civilization.
The furthest output, Circle
When we
City.
ran out of road, we saw the remnants of the old pioneers giving
Oh, I thought he was
way
gonna go to the
machinery
ISS.
of the new. Thousands were now pouring back up to the
Space
new gold
Bigfoot.
rush for the black gold.
Space foot.
Bro.
How much longer could Bigfoot avoid all these people? Where would he go next?
Bigfoot is just like me. Like, he's just trying to not fuck with anybody.
So that's what you've learned tonight so far, is you got so much in common with Bigfoot.
Yeah, it's like
Well, traveling
all
at
these
the
people
top,
keep building
so we
towns
treated
where he lives, and
ourselves
he's
to the
like
fanciest
slowly
hotel
trying to
town.
move away.
There, Yukon Frida. Her sketches were based on recent sightings and
Yukon
descriptions of
Frida.
Bigfoot from that very area.
Oh, there's two Bigfoot in that picture.
Ooh.
There's Bigfoot and Little Bigfoot.
Strong Bigfoot.
As we started,
Or is it Bigfoot and
I
Biggerfoot?
thought of the
Yeah.
statues
Yep,
and
that's it.
drawings I'd seen in Arizona, California, Oregon, Washington, British Columbia, the Yukon, and now above the Arctic Circle. All of them resembling the very creature I saw myself. They were too similar, over too vast an area to be coincidental. But these images weren't good enough for the experts below. I still had a lot of questions to answer.
Oh yeah, you do, buddy.
There were no grocery stores up here, so we ate off the land or purchased fish from the Eskimos.
I'd be
I knew
miserable.
I could get my answers from these people.
Purchase fish from the
Stories
Eskimos.
of
Hell yeah.
Bigfoot were as plentiful as the food.
So there kind of is a grocery store.
One man told of the strange day his mother died. In a cabin like this, family and friends gathered to
cabin
await
like
the
this.
passing of her spirit.
He's doing his best Rod Serling.
That night,
Yeah,
we heard a soft
picture
scratch
this.
at the door.
Imagine
If you don't have to, I'm gonna film a reenactment.
Chanting in a strange tongue. Everyone was terrified. The spirit of his mother was speaking through the voice of Bigfoot. They must abandon their
Voice
home.
of Bigfoot.
He is supernatural.
The next
I'm
day,
telling you,
an
dude.
ice
Bigfoot
flow
has
changed the river,
like psychic ghost
and
powers.
waters now flow where the village once
No, that's
stood.
Ghostfoot.
Ghost.
I asked
and
to see
Psychic
this
Foot.
area, hoping for a sign of Bigfoot. The man said,
It's a whole
"If you wish to
franchise.
see the
I
king
still
of the
really
animals,
like the idea of
he
Bigfoot having
breeds in
Dracula's
the
powers.
mating grounds of the Alaskan moose."
Like transform into a bat. Climb up a wall. He never shows up in a. He never shows up on a mirror, so maybe he doesn't show up on a camera.
Up the river by a saddle wheel, a lone Eskimo greeted us with the words, "Bigfoot is not here."
This looks like the forest.
How did you know? Because you got a big sign that says looking for
Bringing the
Bigfoot.
wrath of Bigfoot down upon his people.
I like to imagine he showed up and was like, "Have you seen this half ape, half man thing?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." And he's like, "See, they've seen it too."
The lights began to shine in the sky. They were bright, and traveling was good. Then the snow turned red.
Snow dog.
Oh shit.
To the north, south, east, and west, rivers of blood flowed across the sky and down into the snows.
No, that's just Aurora Borealis.
Bigfoot was punishing us for bringing it sorrow.
Oh, now Bigfoot is like God.
The good white light rose from the north. What followed was a battle of 1,000 warriors.
I was almost with this guy. The entire time.
Was the spirit of Bigfoot left to die?
Now
by
Bigfoot
the
is God.
Well, I mean, you said he's a supernatural spirit.
White Raven.
But that's
protect us from
yeah,
the red
okay.
wrath of its raging brothers. If you travel the river,
I mean, there's a difference between like a ghost and then something that can just control the universe.
Yeah, that's true.
So what is he saying Bigfoot did? Is this actual fire?
I don't even think that. Yeah, this is just some optical effects. I don't think this is real Aurora Borealis.
Right. But is he saying that he changed the sky to
Yeah.
look like I'm on acid? Or did
Yeah,
he, like,
pretty
set
much.
shit on fire? Okay.
then the native gasped, pointing to a bird soaring above us. The legendary white raven. The fisherman said, "Bigfoot smiles upon you.
Seagull.
That's a
seagull. Bring word of him to the people below."
White.
No,
it's a white
raven.
raven. Sorry, those are just seagulls. Please don't feed them. You got Ivan Marks running around being like, "Oh, these gorgeous white ravens."
He's just slowly losing his mind.
At the next village, the natives were waiting for us.
He's at the he's in Antarctica, so like the days are super long and he's just losing it.
Sacred figure.
It hasn't been nighttime in like 4 months.
Here it was again.
I can't sleep.
They told us how Bigfoot was their friend. Their
Oh,
friend.
now he looks like that.
Is that a gray?
Such a violent creature could be their friend.
I'm over it, dude. I'm over this.
They told how
This is fucking
Bigfoot
ridiculous.
carried the bodies of men killed or lost in the Arctic winter to the edge of the
Oh,
nearest
unknown.
village
Okay.
to be buried by their own kind.
Did
When
they
I
put
asked where I
unknown
could
on an
make
unknown
contact
grave?
with their friend, they said, "In the land of shining eyes." But they warned me not to violate Bigfoot's domain. I reminded them of the white raven, so they taught me a chant to sing on the night of the full moon and promised I would see the glowing eyes of Bigfoot.
He's not going to remember that chant. So that is going to take us to our second break. So what do we think so far, boys?
I think I'm not sure at what point, but I think we might have gone off the deep end.
You think This is, I mean, again, we've kind of just
We're
been
in pretty deep at this point.
Yeah, we kind of just went down the rabbit hole with Ivan Marks, but yeah, now it seems like he's probably lost his mind.
This man saw Bigfoot one time and decided to go to the Arctic Circle.
Mm-hmm.
Dedicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he ran out of money like 4 vacations ago. Like it's you know, he's been hurting for money.
It seems like it was a super slow burn, and then he just went crazy all at once when we got to Canada, and he saw some goats.
Yeah, the goats and well, I think, you know what? I think the turn was whenever he watched that thing get hit by the car, and then its friend dragging it to the
messed him up. I mean, so this sat there and just filmed that.
They just filmed that, and we just sat there and watched the whole damn thing. I mean, that was just like
brutal
and unnecessary. But you know, that was kind of a thing in 70s movies, animal violence, you know, and the kind of just painful animal shit was acceptable to the point that, you know, certain other movies use that as entertainment. I don't think necessarily here that's being used for entertainment. I think here it's being used to stretch the running time of the movie. But I mean, it's still very visceral and like, you know, kind of.
So did they run a prairie dog over for the movie?
I don't know if he just happened to catch a car running over it, or if they staged that. I really hope they didn't stage that. You know, I mean, because I think definitely really got hit. So I would hope that he would know better than to actually hit a. But again, Ivan Marks, he's not a filmmaker. He's not a scientist. I've been like, in the lead up to this, kept wanting to call him Dr. Ivan Marks or Professor Ivan, but he's not a doctor. He's not a professor.
He's a mountain man.
And as we've seen, he knows nothing of science. He's losing his mind.
He knows a lot about nature. I'm really just in awe of like his whole situation up there. He's like living with coyotes and mountain lions. Like what?
His whole worldview.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, if I could only spend some time in this guy's brain, right?
I think there was a TV show that sort of followed his life after this called the Red Green Show.
Yeah, no, so he just decided to give up and live in Canada and film a TV show for 2 decades. Is that
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And he discovered how useful duct tape is. Yeah, it was a pretty good show.
Really pretty good, huh? Pretty good. Yeah, well, I mean, unfortunately, he did do some follow-up Bigfoot documentaries after this. In the shadow of Bigfoot
doesn't find you handsome, at least he should find you handy.
Well, and we'll find out by the end of this documentary if they do or not. He's going to get there right before mating season ends. So is he going to get lucky? We don't know. We're going to find out. But I don't know. I mean, you know, again, he's the only other thing that I could find. He did 2 years after this make a narrative feature film called Christie and the Legend of Mount Shasta, which it's some kind of G-rated. I don't know if it's quite a family film. It kind of seems like a family film, but not totally. It's kind of weird. But he directed it and shot it and all that, so it's kind of weird that he just kind of got in. Yeah, it's about store brand soda, Mount Shasta.
So
That's right.
Mount Shasta is allegedly one of the entrances to the Hollow Earth, according to some.
Oh my God! Of course he's a Hollow
the
Earther.
Soda is named after that. Soda's part of the.
Yeah, the sea.
That's the New World Order wants to put aspartame in all of our soda.
We can't let them. You get your Mount Shasta while you can. Yeah. So I mean, Ivan Marks, like this is not his only. I don't know if that movie deals with Bigfoot at all, but he did some other Bigfoot documentaries. So tonight's film's not his only foray into Bigfoot, but I mean, this came out in 1976, 2 years after Boggy Creek. So I think that the craze, if that's what you want to call it, for these schlocky Bigfoot movies lasted until about 1980. So the trailers that we've got, one is for a docudrama called The Mysterious Monsters, which mostly deals with Bigfoot, but I believe it also touches on Loch Ness Monster and I don't know if it's Mothman or aliens, but it touches on some other phenomena besides Bigfoot, and I believe it's public domain, so we'll get to watch that eventually.
Boy.
So this isn't tonight's film isn't the only Bigfoot doc that we're gonna get. Don't worry. If you really enjoyed tonight and you want more, don't worry. We'll have The Mysterious Monsters eventually. And then the other trailer is for it's kind of on the tail end of the Bigfoot movement. It's from 1980 and it's called 1980 and it's called Night of the Demon. And it's kind of weird title, but it's about Bigfoot and
Bigfoot demon.
Basically, like, they had somebody go and film like all these very gory, violent, like murders and death scenes that weren't originally in the movie, and so it's ultra violent. I haven't seen it, and I don't think the trailer really. It's a trailer that was made later. Yeah, it doesn't
even see it.
I don't think it shows. But it does show some ridiculous stuff that you're like, okay, that
because it's ultraviolet.
Sorry, because it's ultraviolet. Yeah, you may not see it. That's right. Good point. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. So yeah, like again, it's kind of the contrast between a, straight documentary, and it's really more of a docudrama because it has reenactments and stuff, versus straight up horror movie. That's what Night of the Demon very much is like. There's like blood flowing everywhere, and I'm pretty sure a biker gets his dick ripped off or something by the Bigfoot. Like it's very, it's a lot. So we're gonna enjoy these trailers, and then when we come back, we're gonna get into the exciting conclusion of the Legend of Bigfoot. So stick around. We'll be right back.
There are monsters everywhere. In Loch Ness, a 24-mile-long bottomless lake in the Highlands of Scotland, it's a creature known as the Loch Ness Monster. In the Himalayas, a towering mountain range on the Asian frontier, it's the monster known as the Abominable Snowman. And in the forests of America, a beautiful wilderness stretching for thousands of square miles, it's called Bigfoot. Now comes a motion picture that shows you actual footage of these and other monsters. You'll journey to Loch Ness and watch what happened when John Cobb, British speed champion, attempted to set a new record on water in 1955. Ignoring warnings about a monster living in the lake, Cobb takes his boat onto Loch Ness. Cobb was killed. His boat disintegrated. Next, you'll join a 1951 expedition to climb Mount Everest. After months of preparation, Eric Shipton led his band of experienced, cool-headed explorers up the treacherous mountain. Higher and higher they climbed. Then, standing at the 19,000-foot level, where no man had ever been before, they saw an incredible sight. Footprints. Giant, man-like tracks stretching out across the snow as far as the eye could see. The footprints of the Abominable Snowman. And closer to home, in Marietta, Washington, you will experience the terror of Bigfoot. It all began on the night of June 6th. Rita Graham was sitting on her couch watching TV. Suddenly, a giant, hairy hand crashed through the window and groped about. The monster was next seen by Tom Stern, and 3 days later in a Boy Scout camp. In all, the small town experienced 12 encounters within 30 days.
Bigfoot, the abominable snowman, the Loch Ness Monster. Just 3 of the monsters you'll see in The Mysterious Monsters. A shocking look into man's encounters with the unknown. The Mysterious Monsters.
We know that people living back in this area are able to see things that average people would never have a chance to. We believe that there is a creature living in these mountains that's on the verge of extinction, possibly a close relative to man. Inspector, what I'm telling you is the truth. There is a creature out there.
That weird trailer, right?
That is a weird trailer.
That was a
That sounded
strange
like
trailer.
Like a C. Boyardee video.
Yeah, it was. I believe it was produced later, so I think it was probably a fan made trailer or something like that. It's hard trying to find the original trailers for these things, but yeah, that's like very much a splatter horror movie version of a Bigfoot movie, and pretty much it after a while. I think after that you get Harry and the Hendersons. I think that's where Bigfoot culture really picked up again in the mid to late 80s was Harry and the Hendersons, which is if you don't know, is a family Bigfoot comedy from the mid 80s, which I haven't seen, but I know people loved it. I think it's got John Lithgow. He's like the dad, and they go into the woods and they find Bigfoot and they take him home, and he's like lives with them. And
how often do you have it where so in some movies Bigfoot is this like bloodthirsty monster, but then in some other movies the same character is this like gentle,
Bigfoot's a good guy,
family friendly.
Yeah, again, that's where kind of the weird thing with the horror movies. He is a bloodthirsty monster who is willing to destroy anybody that's in his territory. And a lot of those Bigfoot movies usually deal with like a professor and his students who go out into the woods to and then of course Bigfoot is like, hey, get out of here. Kind of like Shrek, he's like, get out of my swamp. He gets rid of them. But yeah, so this again, like the documentaries kind of, I think that Mysterious Monsters doc, which we just saw the trailer for and we will watch eventually, probably takes more of a hard stance against Bigfoot, like Bigfoot being bad, because the reenactments are like him like smashing into like somebody's home and
Bigfoot propaganda.
Big, the big cryptid hunters out there, they're trying to besmirch Bigfoot, make everybody be afraid of Bigfoot, but people like Ivan Marks are just trying to let everybody know that Bigfoot's just a docile, gentle creature who wants to be friends with people, and maybe with Ivan a little something more than friends. But we'll see. We'll see. That's what That's what
Can he do it? Can he
exciting
bag a Bigfoot?
conclusion of this documentary is all gonna be about. It's gonna answer the question: can a man enter into a consensual relationship with a Bigfoot? God knows Ivan's tried. Now he's gonna.
He's out of money. He's out of time.
He has been out of money for a while now, and poor Peg, she just puts up with it. I don't know how she does it, but yeah, I mean, no, it's been a weird documentary, and Ivan Marks is, as Evan was saying to me during the break, it's keeping my attention, and I can't really. It's kind of weird. I don't really know why. It's got an odd aura to it. But yeah, he's got us invested in his hunt for Bigfoot. So
I hope that this is a wise investment on his part.
We'll see. I'm sure his wife
make all
will
his money back and
she'll
then
be
some.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And unfortunately, I don't know this movie made too much money.
Yeah, the Bigfoot's not really paying the bills these days.
Oh nope. Not at this time. Anything before we get into the exciting? Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, so have you noticed that he's sort of anti, like, American society and pro, like, this is everybody's land and.
Well, no, he opened the
these people shouldn't be
documentary.
here.
He opened the documentary by saying, "This is my country." Remember? So, like,
Yeah, I think he's getting a lot of his philosophy from his uncle Carl.
I think it could be. Yeah, I mean, Ivan. Yeah, Marx. I mean, he's definitely been, keeping in line with the family politics. That's what are you gonna do? We should just
Marx wanted to fuck Bigfoot.
be able to live in a free society where humans and Bigfoots can coexist with each other.
Sees the means of Bigfoot.
Well, we'll see if if anybody can, it's a Marx. So we'll see if Ivan can do it. All right. Well, Fresh, if you've got it queued up.
I do.
We're going to go ahead and get into the exciting conclusion of The Legend of Bigfoot right now. Yep, just
Well, I
some
wasn't
old
gonna have a
bones.
thing to do with any chanting.
I knew he wouldn't remember the chant.
300 yards from the tent to monitor any movements on the tundra during the night. At the first sound, I'd have a jump on the creature.
Just puts this radio with this giant antenna out there.
The land was lush with vegetation, a perfect feeding ground.
The guy did like a 20-minute chant and was like, "You got that?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Millions of fish.
Yeah, give me the drum already.
Not just a land of ice and snow. I understood why Bigfoot and so many animals flock to the Arctic to breed.
I'm gonna eat all the Bigfoot's food. Then he'll have to come find me.
But this land was strangely
I don't feel good,
silent.
man. I ate too many blueberries, man.
Where were the animals?
Those aren't animals.
All the ham
Times
radio
could have been
operators.
thrown 15 feet.
They're like, sorry, I can't hear you. Some guy who's jamming up the comms talking about.
Days passed. I felt like a fool, but now I'd go to any ends to conjure up the creature.
Oh, is he gonna do the chant? Yep. He's gonna do
He's
it.
gonna make something up, I guarantee it.
Soon Peg saw what she thought were two car lights approaching.
What? It's Bigfoot.
Oh yeah, no, yes, Watusis. That's what we're serving up
I
here.
was caught in the darkness,
Some
but
summer
Peg
weed
guided me toward
vibes.
the lights. I had to find
That's
out
so
what
creepy.
it was.
We had a scene. We had a scene like this one.
Yeah.
We realized they were the shining eyes. This time I couldn't let Bigfoot escape.
Yeah, that's definitely Bigfoot.
Bigfoot's a car now.
He can transform into anything.
So he's just like, he's a transformer.
He can disappear. He can...
Yeah, he can transform into anything. As long as that anything is one particular car.
I just need you to flick your headlights on and off a bunch of times.
But dawn broke, and it disappeared behind a rainbow.
Oh my god, alright. Yeah, you should just end it there. That was all I needed.
Yeah, roll credits. What are we doing?
This was too much.
Too much, Ivan.
Felt like I was coming apart at the seams. Here I was, an experienced mountain man all my life, acting like a spooked tenderfoot. I still
Ooh,
have
that's a heavy insult, man.
And so few answers.
That's the anti-Bigfoot.
Tenderfoot.
I couldn't concentrate. My head was spinning with tall tales and folklore. I no longer knew what to believe. I had to get away from the others and be by myself.
Sorry, no, I use this foot to swipe left and right. That's my tenderfoot.
Oh my god, go ahead, go ahead. There it is, perfect, beautiful.
Hell yeah.
There were the salmon, back after 10 years of living in the sea, to spawn in the exact place of their birth, and then to die.
Damn.
They reminded me of those I'd seen at Kodiak, in the days when I was
to
a
die.
pure tracker, stuck to nature's signs and wasn't so confused with all the legends and stories of man.
Legends, blah.
And there were geese. My first clue to Bigfoot's migratory pattern.
He's bringing it all together. He's wrapping it all around.
The geese are in league with Bigfoot.
In
I
summary.
began to feel close to nature again.
The geese are just following
I
Bigfoot
knew
north.
that's where I'd find the answers to my questions. And the caribou. The shining eyes. Scratching velvet off their antlers release swamp gas from the tundra to glow in the night.
What?
Rationalizing what he's
It's
doing.
all what must have been the
All coming
monarch of
together.
the North. I was terrified.
A moose
It could
without
bust
its
the likes of
antlers.
me with one
I've
swoop.
never seen
love
one.
it, dude.
That's
It looks
great.
ridiculous.
It does.
I think I've ever seen.
I love that.
He didn't seem to notice me as he made a clearing. He sharpened his horns as if to prepare for combat. I thought he'd come for me now. Instead, he dug a pit and marked it with his scent.
He took a piss right in the hole. That's he dug a pit and marked it with his
Cows
scent.
from all over the area and seemed to warn
He dug
other
a hole and
goats
took a piss.
to keep away. The cows declared themselves his by covering themselves with his scent.
Oh my god.
I'd made it. The mating grounds of the Alaskan moose. Where no
Man,
man
these
had
moose are
ever been
freaky.
before.
He's settling for mooses.
Possibly the
Meese.
breeding grounds of Bigfoot.
Is it too late to change the title to the Legend of
Some young
Moose?
bulls seemed a little overeager and found the monarch defending his territory against all intruders.
What does this have to do with Bigfoot?
Others waited for the right moment.
Don't worry, he's gonna bring it around.
Pat it out. Pat it out.
Then he saw me.
Uh-oh.
But luckily, a match for the monarch challenged him for his cows and territory.
So dramatic. Bump. Reaction shot.
Just standing there.
Deedly-deep.
Those
Not
who
much of a
waited
fight.
now moved in. While the bulls were fighting, nature made sure there'd be a good crop of calves come spring.
Nice. Swooped in there. While the two alpha males are fighting each other. Just bloop.
The monarch triumphed.
That's nature, baby.
Now, too preoccupied to give any notice to me, he gathered his cows. And according to the law of nature, the strongest began to breed.
Whoa. Okay.
I was deeply moved by what I'd seen. Still, no sign of
Deeply moved.
It's turned into a stag film. Everybody look out.
Signaling the end of the breeding season. Time was running out, so we took to the air.
I want to film more suffocating fish.
The Arctic winter could close us in at any moment, so we had to move fast. Why couldn't I find this creature?
He's really frustrated.
When I saw
I'm
the
really
expanse
close, I
of
know.
space below, I laughed. Anything could be out there. They'd found Stone Age men in New Zealand. There were prehistoric fish being pulled out of the Persian Sea. My God, a primitive man walked out of the mountains 70 miles from the capital of California.
What?
There's
Is that
so
true?
much territory
A
yet
hermit?
to be explored.
Yeah, hermit? Is that what did he say?
We found undiscovered
Prehistoric
wrecks
man?
of men who
Yeah.
tried to
The
break
mountain
into
man.
this wilderness and
Old
were
man
never
man.
heard of again.
Was he talking about Encino Man? He just saw
I
Encino
think
Man
of
and
the
thought it was real.
Everything I believed in was on the line. Suddenly, the
Everything I
pilot whipped
believed in
around.
and all my money is on the line.
There he was, a young Bigfoot, frozen like a tree.
But how are you going to get a return on your investment when you find Bigfoot? Gonna ask him for money?
We
No,
raced
Bigfoot-
back to the river.
Bigfoots are very
but he
frugal.
slipped away. Seeing the young Bigfoot confirmed my theory. I could now roughly predict the creature's movements.
He figured it out.
The crew celebrated the sighting, but it wasn't enough for me. I knew I needed to document Bigfoot's habits.
But that wasn't enough. No, I needed more.
The young Bigfoot's
All I care
tracks
about is Bigfoot.
led me from the river to a lush meadow. He'd passed through a herd of grazing muskox. I wondered what Bigfoot fed on. Maybe he ate vegetation too.
Bigfoot.
Maybe
A
he eats
fish.
muskox.
I'd seen him by a river. Of course, he could have been cleaning himself or drinking. Of course, he could be a predator. One of these oxen would last him half the winter. Bigfoot's behavior still held many mysteries. But now it was just a matter of time before I solved them.
All right, we're so close, y'all. Let's cut it out with the salmon and the liquor.
We were forced to move south, just like the animals.
Just like
caribou gathered for their migration.
Caribou. Gore.
They'd be the source of food for all the meat-eating animals that followed.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
If Bigfoot were a meat-eater, he'd feed on caribou. If I could prove that he did, I'd have a clue to the place he held in nature. If I could film it, I'd have the kind of documentation.
All right, I need you to put on your Bigfoot suit and go over to this caribou carcass, and I need to act like you're biting into it. Actually, I need you to go method. I need you to bite into it while screaming like a Bigfoot.
Oh, it's just the dog. Zone up here.
Oh my god. Brutal.
Boom.
So macabre.
You're not even gonna finish it? You just took 2 bites and walked away?
Oh.
But yo, you know I eat like a bird.
Brutal. What? So I guess he missed Bigfoot mating season, huh? Or is it just always snow up here? It's looking pretty cold to be summer.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Hang him up.
Brutal. Can't really yikes it, because this is like, you know.
I mean, this is just how.
I guess this is just.
This is where meat comes from.
Yeah, I mean. Ugh, it is, you know.
I was devastated by
brutal.
the slaughter of the caribou.
Now, see, he's upset. He's not happy. Maybe I should have yikesed it. Ivan's upset.
It could be wiped out before I had a chance to study it.
He's only upset because he hasn't found Bigfoot.
Yeah, he's just mad that this will impede his search of Bigfoot.
For something so few believed existed. I needed that unchallengeable proof I'd first set out for. There was no sign of Bigfoot with the caribou. It must eat vegetation or fish.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
The perfect place. Beaver Swamp in the spring.
Beaver Swamp in the spring.
Of course.
The answer
You're
was
fucking
in
God,
front of
dude.
us the whole time.
And planned
But
to
it's
stay
full
as
circle.
long as I could. I used every trick I learned over my years as a trapper.
What are those? Freaking
Carefully covered my
bear
scent.
pheromones or something?
Beaver Swamp.
He's sprinkling it. Never mind.
The geese. If my theory was right, Bigfoot would follow shortly.
He does. He
He's right
follows the
behind
geese.
Perfect place to
Just
set up a
running
blind.
behind the geese.
When I found it, I moved in and set up my cameras. Day after day, I waited and soon grew jealous of the other animals' freedom. I was stiff, chilled to the bone. But
I was stiff.
determined not to
Yep.
make a
No, he's been
move
stiff
that
for a
might
while, I
warn
think.
Bigfoot of my presence.
I mean, he's.
Come.
Where is he again? What is it? Beaver Swamp?
It was like waiting for Godot.
Then a movement in the woods. The sun hadn't come up yet. It was hard to make out what I'd seen at first.
Okay. My action.
Ooh.
There he was. There he is. Standing no more than 100 yards from my blind. I began to shake all over. I could barely keep hold of my camera.
I don't know. You're holding it pretty steady, it looks like.
My camera was wildly shaking.
For this to be found footage, this is the most steady found footage I've ever seen.
Behind me, another one.
Oh shit!
Possibly
I'm
younger.
surrounded.
Bigfoot gangbang. It's his dream. It was what he wanted the whole time.
They were the most extraordinary creatures I'd ever seen. I now knew why the Eskimos called Bigfoot the king of the animals. The older, larger one was 7 feet tall, 450 to 500 pounds. His domed head and long...
I'm sorry, did you work at the circus as a guess your weight guy, or are you certified to make that guess?
The same thick,
He brought a
musky
scale
scent
into the woods.
that first led me to Bigfoot so long ago. The young one was no more than 5.5 feet tall, 250 pounds. If my guess was right, probably on its first trip away from its northern breeding grounds. He'd probably never seen a man before. If he saw me, he could panic and attack.
What are you gonna do?
Then I looked around and realized the other animals were carrying on normally.
Just gotta act cool, gotta act natural.
They would have fled.
Wash my stomach. Like nothing's happening.
Just as the Eskimos had said, Bigfoot is a benevolent creature. It doesn't even attack or feed on other animals. It seems to eat only vegetation or sometimes fish. Here it was before me, pulling up the tender swamp grass with its hands. Remarkable huge hands that seemed capable of grasping
big, strong hands.
You kind of just, you can just feel yourself being cradled by.
I've done it.
Under the northern lights.
There he is.
Bigfoot. Unchallengeable
Splashing
proof my
around.
theory had worked. It is a migratory animal, and I now have the documentation of its habits I needed.
You need it for what?
Begin to understand the place this creature holds.
So again, is this the footage, or is this just a dramatization?
Of his own footage.
Of his own footage.
You have to pay $19.95 to get the videotape of the real footage. You could just pay $4 for a movie ticket to see the reenactment.
A raccoon came out to start his day's hunting. I knew the nocturnal Bigfoot would soon return to the cover of the forest.
Okay, now this is a little more, it's shaky. Okay, alright.
Yeah.
This works.
I'd like to see a little more of the swing and the
Yeah.
step.
Okay.
Not
This
bad.
is, or wait, that looks like a bear. You can't tell me that's a Bigfoot. That's a bear. I mean, I think it's a bear. It does look kind of strange.
There he goes, splashing around again.
Taking a bath.
I can't see.
It's too much shit on me. I can't breathe.
I once again said goodbye to this mysterious creature that has somehow outlived its natural role.
He's gonna put a misconnections post on Craigslist.
Now left to wander the land elusively with a strange will to survive.
Bigfoot is cursed. Cursed to wander the land.
Oh, I still have plenty of questions, and I'll continue my search for the answers now. But I assure you, I'll no longer get so caught up in the problems of my research that I'll lose touch with the wonders it reveals.
Or reality.
No, he didn't say he wouldn't lose touch with reality. Let's not get carried away.
The end.
Wow. Yeah, look at that. Ivan and Peggy.
You found him in the end.
I guess so. I guess so. Unless you see anybody credited as Bigfoot during these credits, I would say it was probably not Bigfoot.
Modern scientists will say that it's fake.
Could it be that that was actually Bigfoot?
No.
No, he says no. He says no. Glenn sound. There it is.
Lady Kid and Bo Blue. Love it.
Bushman Corporation. Bushman. Wow, that was the legend of Bigfoot. So, what did we think, boys?
Well, you know, even though he's not a filmmaker, I think wasn't from his own volition, his own saying. There was a lot of really good like nature photography in this one. Like I feel like this could have been some like Nat Geo kind of thing if it wasn't about what it's about.
Yeah.
Or maybe it would. I haven't watched the National.
No.
Maybe they're doing Bigfoot stuff nowadays.
But you could see an hour-long edited version of this, as kind of a modern thing that you'd see on Nat Geo Discovery or anything like that. But yeah, right? It is a documentary, kind of.
It's like part Bigfoot documentary and part like this guy finding himself movie.
Yeah. His passion.
I went on a search to find Bigfoot, and I found myself.
Yes, that's the tagline for the movie. Oh man, the Ivan Marks story. Yeah, too bad that and I mean, again, like this, technically the movie had a director who also like co-wrote the script with the editor. So I don't know, again, the footage that we saw was apparently shot by Ivan Marks and his wife Peggy. So I don't know if they just collected all this footage and then this guy, the director, Harry Weiner, and the editor, if they like crafted the story around the footage.
So you think that maybe he never even saw Bigfoot?
No. I mean, again, do you think that was real Bigfoot footage?
I do.
I hope that wasn't. I hope that was just a dramatization. That wasn't his actual Bigfoot tape. Even though that's like a really weird thing to.
Well, I think in the world of the Bigfoot stuff, Ivan Marks is known for like hand and footprint casts. I think the footage is not, again, the footage that everybody thinks of is the Patterson-Gimlin film, which, you know, a lot of people would try to debunk it. There's never been any, like...
No one's been able to debunk it.
Patterson died, I think, in the 70s. Gimlin's still alive, but both of them have always said that it was real. Nobody was wearing a suit. But, like, the whole name Bigfoot, like, came from a newspaper article in the late 50s about, you know, this construction worker who had found tracks near their construction site. And after this guy died in the 2000s, his family came out and said, so we actually found the casts to the footprints in, like, the house. So it was fake. So the whole story that coined the name Bigfoot was a fake. So if that was a fake, you know, I don't know about the famous footage, but I mean, this footage obviously looked pretty cheesy. And I don't know. I mean, and it leads to the question that we asked at the beginning of tonight's episode. What do you think? Do you think that Bigfoot is real? So I'll open that to you guys. I mean, Evan?
No, I don't.
Now, Fresh, I think you have a counter stance on this, right?
Yeah, I do believe Bigfoot is real, but I don't think he's a missing link between man.
You claim to have seen Bigfoot. Yes, you have a Bigfoot story?
Yeah, so there I was. I was sitting on the couch in my gym shorts with my shirt off, and I was eating hot. I was eating hot Cheetos, and I was watching reruns of Seinfeld on TV.
Yep, nice. Just any normal day.
And I was laughing. It was funny because
which episode?
So Kramer was trying to tell Jerry that they could, like, start a business and they could just write stuff off. But he didn't really know, like, what it meant to write something off. He thought that you could just write it off and never have to pay for it. And so Jerry was trying to explain to him that that's not how writing stuff off works. And you have to, like, it's like a tax thing, so you try to write it off and then you don't owe it at the end of the year. And Kramer just really didn't understand, and so he was just adamant that you just, like, write it off or something.
Yeah, I don't think Kramer pays his taxes.
No way.
Yeah, definitely not. No.
And then you saw Bigfoot.
Well, then it, like, cut to this thing, and it was like Jerry was doing stand-up or something at a place. It was like the end of the episode, and he was doing like a stand-up bit or something. I can't remember exactly what the joke was, but then it was like
Classic.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so then I got up and I went to the kitchen because I was out of soda. So I got me another, like, cup of soda, and I put, like, 5 cubes of ice into the cup, and then I got some Dr. Pepper out of the fridge and poured it into the cup, and, you know, I waited for the foam to go down, and then I poured a little bit more into the went down so I could get, you know, you got to get, like, maximum. So,
right. Then what happened?
Well, after that, I went back to the couch. And I was eating these Cheetos, right? And they were, like, really hot. So, like, usually I can handle spicy stuff, but it's like the Flamin' Hot powder that they put on stuff. They've been making it, like, more spicy lately, so it's, like, extra spicy now or something. I think they changed the formula back in, like, June, because, like, it seems like lately it's like I can usually handle spicy stuff pretty good. And I usually go for like the hottest wings wherever I go, and now it's like
Fresh,
the flaming hot stuff.
fresh. I'm gonna have to stop you right there. I appreciate your commitment to the bit. That's
No, I
what
want to see where this is going.
okay. I'll let him go for 5 more minutes.
That's not nearly enough time.
So to make a long story short,
yeah, just skip to the Bigfoot part.
So, I thought I could handle the flaming hot spice, the new powder they were using. So I was eating it, and it was getting kind of hot. And the thing is, like, I was trying to cool it off with the Dr. Pepper that I got.
Mm-hmm.
But like when you drink Dr. Pepper to try to cool off a burn, it's like it doesn't work.
It's not gonna work.
Like makes it hotter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I went back to the fridge and I opened up the gallon of milk that I got. And I poured some of that into the cup, and then I went back to the couch, and so fast forward to the next day. I went to sleep and then I wake up and I like look out the window and like Bigfoot's walking by the window.
Holy shit. That's what you woke up to?
Yeah, so I woke up, so I heard something, right? I heard something, it was like knocking. So I got up the first time, and it was actually my it was like something about me not paying rent or something, so I got like a paper from them or something.
Right.
And then I went back to bed, and then when I woke up, I heard another like rattling thing, and I look out the window, and someone was like getting stuff in their car because they were going on vacation or something. My like the way that my place is set up, like I'm right beside the parking lot, so I'll go back to sleep again. I'm getting really segmented sleep lately, and so I go back to sleep and I wake up and I'm pretty sure I saw Bigfoot walking by the window.
Holy hell, dude! That must have been a frightening experience for you. First, I mean the Dr. Pepper and the Flamin' Hot, and then you wake up to Bigfoot. I mean, sure, it wasn't a hallucination brought on by the combination of the Flamin' Hot and the Dr. Pepper.
So the little guy they have on the Flamin' Hot stuff, the little flame guy. He actually has a name, and it's Sparky.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you learn something new every day. I guess.
I don't know if we learned anything from the documentary.
No,
But,
no. Again, Ivan Marks was not even a cryptozoologist in the most formal sense. He's very much an animal tracker who's using no science whatsoever, and I unfortunately I don't think he ever found, but he passed away in 1999. So, just before Y2K, I'm sure he was ready for the aliens to come and take him to see Bigfoot. I'm sure that's what he wanted. The last Bigfoot documentary he made was Bigfoot Alive and Well in '82. And
that's for
I love that title.
Bigfoot
reunion.
We're gonna go see our old pal Bigfoot.
Yeah,
I couldn't back tour.
Couldn't find any footage. Yeah, it does sound like some kind of bootleg. Like bootleg. It is. It's probably just a bootleg tape of all the Bigfoot footage that you could compile up to that point, and he sell it in the catalogs and a late night television for $29.95.
Bigfoot not dead yet.
Not can't kill him. 83.
Right. Yeah. Well, you have to put a stake through his heart.
Yep. Vampire rules.
He's immortal.
That's what we learned. He is something else. But yeah, I mean, so that movie again, like we. As our introduction to Bigfoot documentaries, that was just weird and odd. So I thought that was a good way to bring us in. Because, it's kind of about Bigfoot, but it's mostly about this guy. And there's just something...
His slow slip into insanity.
Descent into madness. But there's something engaging about it, right? Like, there's just something that...
It's got kind of
I enjoyed it.
It's got kind of an ominous charm to it.
That's a good way to put it. Ominous charm. I mean, and whether it's him, whether it's the music, which again, the music's apparently composed by this guy named Don Peake, who is a session musician for like all the greatest like rock and roll players of the 60s and the 70s. I mean, he like played lead guitar on like Beach Boys stuff and on Ike and Tina Turner things, and all
this.
John Lennon, and then he did this, like he was part of there were these famous session musicians, they were called the Wrecking Crew. So he was like part of the Wrecking Crew, and he would do lead guitar. He did lead guitar for Jackson 5 stuff, like all the popular Jackson 5 stuff. He's the guy playing the guitar. But then he did I think this is one of his first film scores. He also scored some of Wes Craven's horror films. He did the score for the original The Hills Have Eyes from 70, maybe it was before this. I don't know what year Hills Have Eyes was, but he also did The People Under the Stairs, which is I don't know if that's late 80s or early 90s Wes Craven. But so it's kind of weird that this guy Don Peake, he was a rock and roll session musician, but he was also a film composer and has some other interesting horror movies under his belt for a big horror master like Wes Craven. And so I think that his music is definitely adding something here. But then Ivan Marks is just bringing the whole weird, obsessive Bigfoot crazy man vibe. And yeah, it's just something about it that all comes together. And I mean, it is available for theatrical distribution right now. The American Genre Film Archive, who they're dedicated to preserving and restoring, and they doing theatrical distributions for old movies, old genre exploitation movies. This is one that you can get from their catalog, and they have prints of it that can be shown in movie theaters. So they do a lot of cult movies and shot on video horror films. They're great. And they partner with, kind of the other companies that champion those kind of weird films, and they help distribute them and, convert them to 4K and all this crazy stuff. So, they've seen that this movie has lived on, and the public domain has seen that it's lived on. So we got to enjoy it tonight. So I'm glad that was our introduction to Bigfoot documentaries, and it won't be our last one. So, and it also isn't our last. I don't know. Do you consider Bigfoot an ape?
I mean, I guess as much as a man is an ape.
Okay, I'll take that. Well, then it's not our last ape film of the season, because our last film of the season, not only is it an ape core movie, it's also starring Bela Lugosi, because next Friday at 9 p.m. we are watching the infamous Bela Lugosi Meets a Brooklyn Gorilla, which we have seen the trailer for many times. And we've talked about Bela Lugosi and then the end of his career. But of course, the Summer of Schlock wouldn't be complete without the most schlocky Bela Lugosi movie that I could think of. And I think it's that one, because not only is it schlocky enough that it was 1952 or 53, and they're using the gorilla suit gag, but also that they are using Bela Lugosi's name in the title, but he's doing his whole Mad Doctor shtick. And it's got this terrible comedic duo who will. They're basically the lead characters. Again, this is post Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, so it's kind of doing a little bit of that with a little bit of Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis, who were a popular comedic duo at the time, before they had a falling out, and that's a whole 20th century pop culture thing. But I get into it next week when we talk about that ridiculous leads outside of Bela Lugosi, who's terrific as he always is. And so we're excited to close out our seasons with Bela like we always do, and I think we'll enjoy it, even though it's going to be pretty terrible. I haven't seen it, so again, keeping in line with most of the movies this season, I haven't seen it before, so I'm, at the very least, it'll be fun to watch Lugosi kind of do his thing before Ed Wood got his hands on him. I know this may be around the time that he first started kind of working with Ed Wood. I'm not quite sure, but I'll have all of that info for you next Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Of course, you can check us out this Wednesday for the finale of Undersea Kingdom, which is those have been our Wednesday mini-sodes, and we're going to be doubling up, I do believe, right?
Yep. We're going to be crashing into the finale.
Crashing into it, and hopefully crashing up to the upper...
Crashing out of Atlantis.
Layers of Earth, out of Atlantis, yeah. We'll see. Above the sea, hopefully. I'm tired of being under the sea. I want to be above the sea. So, I mean, we got to end it somewhere. So we got to hope we can get out of the sea. But who knows? That'll be the fun, part of the fun. So you can check that out on Wednesday at 9 p.m. That'll be our mini-sode finale. And then we'll have our season finale on Friday. We'll be off for probably just a week, and then we'll be back. So don't worry. We will keep the public domain horror coming to you. But until then, you can go check out all of our past episodes on our YouTube page. We're over there at Scream Stream Live. So we got all of our regular episodes, our mini-sodes, all that good stuff. Of course, you can go and find us over on the socials. We're over there at Scream Stream Show on Instagram and Twitter and Threads. And, Twitter. X.
Oh, is it officially X now?
Oh, yeah, it's changed on like everybody's phones and on the thing. Yeah, it's so weird to look at. It's so weird to...
So, what do you don't tweet anymore? You X?
I guess he's trying to turn it into a verb. I guess it's his weird obsession that he's finally been able to make it a dream come true. So good for him, I guess. Who knows?
Yeah, you just got X'd.
Oh yeah, that's somebody already took that. Yeah,
someone already did it.
Yeah, somebody already did that. Just Jamie Kennedy. Yes, what a name that nobody remembers anymore. What has he done since? Why does it, like, our subsection of like people our age probably all remember that? Was this everybody just watching the WB and seeing those terrible advertisements? You just got So yeah, Elon's just stealing that.
Good luck making X into a verb, past tense.
It's never gonna catch on. I'm calling it now. It's never.
You think they're gonna switch it back to Twitter?
Yeah,
I hope they will.
I hope somebody buys it from him and switches it all back. That'd be great. Just perfect middle finger to him. But you can go find me over on the socials. Over on Twitter at Spakenstein. You can find Mr. Fresh Rogan over on Twitter and Instagram at Fresh Rogan. You can find Mr. Evan Sink on Twitter and Instagram at Caligari Cursed. Thanks everybody so much for watching tonight. New viewer Watusis from YouTube joining us and in the chat. Thanks for hopping in. Thank you, Evan and Fresh, as always. Anything before we sign off tonight, boys?
I think we've been hunting for Bigfoot all wrong. Maybe instead of traipsing through the woods, we should just be inviting him into our homes. You open a window and you wait for him to fly in.
This is a Bigfoot friendly house. I love it. I love it. Perfect idea. Until next week, sweet screams, everybody.
So I'm sitting there, right, on the couch.
And then you saw on your Ring doorbell, it was Bigfoot.
Yeah, and I said, please come in.
I really thought that when you said you went to get the milk, that he was going to be inside the milk.
What?
I don't know why.
That would have been the perfect absurd place for that to go. We'll get them next time. All right. Sweet screams.
Great tight.
And to all, a good